All right. Well, hello and welcome to another weekly edition of Happy Hour with the Lincoln. Let me give the official cheers and salute to all my good trading friends, my friends in general, those that are just passing by for the first time. Welcome to Happy Hour with the Lincoln. This is where week by week I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions. I'll do my best to rant about stock market topics, or at least I'll try to stay on topics. Or maybe I'll just tell you a story. You don't know what you're going to get, as I say, but I will always try to make it fun and educational and entertaining. And we're all here just to share our knowledge and just be able to continue to do what it is we do for a living, which is trade stocks. And for those that haven't been able to do that yet or trying to do that, we're here to help you get to that next level. Now, speaking of stocks, if you do need help to that next level, you do need help with your trading, take a moment, visit this link. We trade live every day. Just click on it. You can start trading live with us. And my DVD has been out for a while. I know many of you have heard this, those that watch this every week, but many of you that are seeing this for the first time, I do have a DVD out. It is free. It's called Rock Solid. It covers the three main trader components it takes to be successful. I'll post the link here. Check it out. Apply these techniques. I think it will really help you. So here's what we're going to talk about. Let me lube up first. I'm sure you don't mind. Talisker Storm. Yes, Talisker Storm. And I'll stretch out. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I did this happy hour. I forgot what the name of it was all of a sudden. I wrote it down somewhere. But what good does it do if you write it down and you don't post it where you can see it? But inside of that happy hour, I was talking about strategies to use, things to get your business in order, certain ways to look at your business. And inside of that, I spoke about using one stock a day and using one strategy a day if you were struggling with consistency, if you were struggling with profitability and you were having a hard time. That's a very good way to kind of recharge your business. And it's also a great way for new traders, those that are struggling with consistency and having a hard time with it. It's a great way for you to start putting yourself in the right kind of direction. And to me, I think it's the best way for a new trader or one that's aspiring trader to go, because it makes this whole process just a little bit easier. So many of you had reached out to me asking, what do you look for? What type of strategy to use? What's a good stock for that? So I'm going to talk to you guys about that today. I'm going to answer all of those questions. First, let's talk about why this is so beneficial to you and why I believe that it is. I'm not saying this fits everybody, but I do know there is a very large group of people watching this that come into the trading business from either seeing an ad, like I've got this one strategy that kicks ass and you're going to make $1 million. And mostly you find yourself in these huge rooms with lots of people trading these penny stocks of some sort. And I'm not saying that you can't make money doing that. But the way that business works, or even the way that you're talking about regular trading business, you turn on a CNBC, a Fast Money or something like that. It's always about what's the hottest stock pick? What's the next big stock pick? What is that? And what you're really doing there in a lot of those cases, not all of them, but in a lot of those cases, you're getting up every day and you're chasing a name. So let's just kind of use penny stocks, microcap stocks there for a second. And normally one will come through and it just has a very short shelf life. Yes, you can make money on these, but they'll be news driven. You might get a spike. Sometimes that spike lasts for half a day. Sometimes that spike lasts for the full day, 2 days. Maybe it's a dry ships and it does something completely ignorant and goes ballistic for weeks. But no matter what it is, all of those have a very short shelf life. So it's sort of like a hit it, quit it kind of business, right? You're in, you're out, and you're just constantly going over and over again. Now, I know you can preach about using the same strategy, knowing what to look for, but each and every one of those names do operate differently. They take their news cycles differently. And like I said, you kind of trade it and you're done with it, and it may never come back to your watch list for months, years, or ever again. So you have to kind of train yourself, and you're taking on a lot of data. You're reading a lot of news, and you're doing a lot of research to come to those conclusions on which is the best to buy, which is the best to short, and how your strategy is going to work. On the flip side of that, if you use the same stock, let's say just the same instrument. Let's say you just got up every day and you traded the E-mini futures, which is the SPY. If you traded the market every single day, just the same stock or the same instrument every single day, you will learn things about that stock that you didn't know beforehand. It's sort of like a relationship. When you meet somebody for the first time, you have an initial impression. And then as you get to know them, you start to know their nuances and how you're going to act around them, how you're going to behave around them. Or you can look at it as something like watching the same movie for 1,000 times. Like the first time you saw it, you're like, hey, that's cool. The fifth time you saw it, you started noticing more things about the movie, like the clothes they were wearing. By the 1,000th time you're watching, you're like, you recognize the drapes on the back in the background, what's laying on the coffee table during conversations. I mean, you've had all this time to analyze every single piece of every single scene over and over again. And that's the same theory with trading the same stock. You get to know that stock. And what's important about knowing the stock, when I say knowing it, is knowing its price levels, knowing why it does something, when it does something, and why it behaves like that. So for example, just quickly, we'll go into it in a second, but like Tesla, if you traded that for a while recently, you know there's sort of this magnetized line somewhere around $300. This thing loves to go through 300 and under 300, but it doesn't want to go under 300 too far and stay there too long, and it comes back. Now, you can make a ton of money by knowing something that small. So first of all, why do you do something like this? Is because it allows you to have a personal relationship with a stock. And that cuts down on your nightly research time, because if you're trading all day like we are, you've spent 6 hours looking at this thing, a few hours, after the market's closed looking at it, for 5 days a week, for maybe, you do that every day for 6-7 months in a row, because that type of a stock never leaves your watch list. It's not like a penny stock that comes in, you hit it real quick, and then you got to wait for the next cycle. It's there every day. So I mentioned Tesla. Let's talk about what kind of stocks to use. I mentioned Tesla. I would put that on the top of the list as far as a stock that can be traded every day. Every day of the week. There will never be a day that goes by where Tesla will just go flat, where Tesla will have no action. I mean, every day there is a trade. And not only is there a trade, there's trades to both sides, such as there's long trades on that stock, there's reversal trades, there's short trades on it. Now, when you want to compare something like a Tesla to a penny stock, for example, or microcap stocks, one of the strategies that was always promoted with those for many years, and still is short selling pump and dumps, big penny stock. You'll find that many of those stocks, will be very difficult to borrow shares. If you can get borrows for them, they will be very expensive. And if you do short them, you may get stuck in something like a KBIO or a VLTC or a dry ships that will literally grenade your account in the middle of the afternoon when those low floats start churning over the float. Those are many things, like with halt risks, churning over float, excessive manipulation. That's stuff that you're free from when you're trading a name like Tesla. You can't pump Tesla. There's just too much volume in it. You're not going to be able to pump it. An entire trading room is not going to be able to pump it. There's just too much there. So when we talk about the stocks, you want to look for stocks that have massive range to them. Stocks that can really put in big daily moves. And I'll give you a couple of here that has been my favorite, that have always been on my watch list for years. They just do not move. And every day you can find a trade on them. I don't necessarily trade them every day, but every day you can find them. That is Tesla, TSLA, NVIDIA, NVDA. I don't want to say Apple. Yeah, you could say Apple at sometimes. AAPL, Facebook, FB, Netflix, NFLX. I hope I'm not repeating some of these names over and over again. And those to me are like the core. Those beta type of names right there, they are the core of some great trades. Now, other ones will come in there like Twillo, TWLO, Shop, SHOP. Sometimes these retailers like Lulu, LULU, they will provide great opportunities, but some days they can be a little quiet. But when it comes to Tesla, Netflix, NVIDIA, those kind right there really, to me, lead the way. So it doesn't matter what that stock is, as long as you have something that makes both up and down movements and has a great trading range every day, and volume, of course, because you got massive volume on those things, you're on the right track. And you have the flexibility to have both shares to the long side and the short side. Like, you're never going to run out of borrows for a Tesla short if that's what you want to do. And they're optionable for some of you people that like options. So you have all of these tools right at your disposal. The next is the type of strategy. It can be any kind of strategy that you feel that you're comfortable with now. I mean, they experience the same thing as cheaper stocks and other things. You know, they have flag breakouts. They have multi-time frame breakouts. They have multi-time frame breakdowns, flag breakdowns. They have parabolics. They have news events that cause these things to go erratic. They have reversals. They have pivots. They have levels of support and resistance. But what you'll notice with these stocks, and I challenge you to do this after you watch this, is I want you to just pull up, let's just stay with Tesla. I want you to pull up a chart of this, an intraday chart. And I want you to go back for a few days. And I want you to just kind of start drawing lines at the top, high a day, at the low a day, high a day, low a day. Pick a couple, do a Facebook, do an Apple, do a Tesla. It's been affected a little bit. I should say Tesla's been affected a little bit here by the news with the big announcement. The big announcement was out. So you're going to get a little bit of dirty action there. But, you know, look at those levels, maybe even before the last couple of days. You'll see how these things work at certain numbers. And I've always been a big advocate and a believer, and my business has always been based on support and resistance. I even did a video once, support and resistance outweighs all indicators. You'll see these things open up, they fill in the gap, bounce off of the gap, go back up to high a day, flag, rip through high a day, pull back to the base. I mean, they do it over and over again. They make the same types of moves every single day. They do the same thing every day. And when you know that, you kind of can figure out this is what's going to happen. This is how they're going to react to Tesla. This is how they're going to react to Amazon. This is how they're going to react to Nvidia. This is how the market's going to think of Netflix on this. This is what Netflix does every time it breaks out, because it's like that movie. You've seen it over and over and over again. It's like you already know what it's going to do in most cases before it does it itself. It's like it's a human being. It's like these stocks take on personalities. You'd think it's just a stock. No, it's got a personality to it because people and emotions trade those stocks. And that's what helps you get that edge. And that's all you're really looking for when it comes to trading. You're not trying to be fancy with this. You just need an edge, and you exploit the edge. So for all of you out there, those are the stocks that work the best. Any strategy will work for that. Flag breakouts, 52-week, multi-time frame breakouts, fades into support, bounces, reversals on big parabolics and quick buying V-shaped rallies. I mean, you name it, you can do anything that you want. Really what's important is that you understand the levels. And the thing that you're looking at here is what it's doing for you, for those that are struggling and you're having a consistency problems, because you're probably trying to do too much. You're trying to make your trading too fancy. You're trying to, get too cute with this. You don't need it. Just keep it simple, right? You've all heard keep it simple, stupid. That's why you do well in the business like this. So what it does is it blocks out all the noise, allows you to focus on one, maybe two names, just so you start getting into a rhythm. And you'll be surprised at how much less stressful your trading career is, because you don't have to worry about all that news. It's just gibberish. You don't care. You don't care about all that Twitter stuff. You don't care about anything like that. You're just paying attention to your little edge and your stock, or two stocks or whatever. And as you get a little bit better with it, you can start to put in 4 or 5 of them. But give it a try. If you're struggling, give it a try. I mean, you have nothing to lose. If you're somebody that's really successful and you're doing well right now, don't listen to what I'm saying. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're somebody out there that's just getting, the hell beat out of you every day, you just can't put 2 and 2 together. You have a couple of good trades and a bad trades, and you keep getting stuck in something, or you know the deal. Give it a try. But the reason that it works is because it keeps your business simple, allows you to increase the focus because you have less to focus on. So you can put 100% of your focus in on one thing, 1 or 2 strategies, and you'll be surprised how much better you are as a performer in the trading business. So anyway, fellas and ladies, I hope this made some sense to you. If I left something out and got ranting there and just didn't quite make sense, and you need a little bit more information for the sake of time, just send me an email, support@thelincolnlist.com. I'll reach out to you and answer any additional questions I might have left on the table. Until the next happy hour, I want to thank you very much. Employ and do one stock. Get you some Tesla, put it on your board, put you some Nvidia on there, Start watching them every single day. Even if you don't trade them, just watch it every day of the week. And I bet you, you will find an edge. You'll just find it. Your eyes won't lie to you. You'll see it. Trust me, you'll see it. Until the next happy hour, thanks for watching. Cheers.